Well, happy holidays, everybody. We're going to draw this darling little snowman. We won't be painting him, but I just thought I'd give you a sample of painting it just in case you wanted to try. But we're going to do a drawing similar to this one. I always change it up in each drawing just to give you more ideas, but the process is about the same. So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and use a Sharpie to make sure you can see it. But I would use a pencil so you can erase if you need to. I'm going to try not to make any mistakes. So we're going to start up here with his hat, and then we're going to just work down the page. So if you want to get yourself just a school pencil with an eraser, and then later on if you want to use a Sharpie, you can. You could also watercolor it. You could use colored pencils or markers. All of those would work great. So for the top of the hat, I am going to do a little snow hat or a little beanie. So I'm going to just start with a nice big wide curve. Try not to make it too narrow because that would make his head really small. And then if you want it to look like a little pom-pom on top, all you have to do is do little dashes in a circle like this, and it'll look like a little pom-pom on top of his hat. Now I want to make this hat look a little bit furry. So what I'm going to do is just make a little bit of a wiggly line coming over to the other side like this, and then a little bit of a wiggly side because remember the rim would be bigger than the hat, so a little bit wiggly here. And then I'm just going to do a slightly wiggly line here because I want it to look a little bit more like it's fur on the edge of the hat. Now you could leave it plain like that. You could put polka dots on it, whatever you wanted to. But I'm going to go ahead and put some curved lines to make it look a little bit more like a knit hat. But don't feel like you have to put any more lines on it. You could leave it just simple. Okay? But if you thought you wanted it to look a little bit more like a knit cap, you could put those little lines in. Now, a couple options for his ears is one, these are like little headphones. And then these over here just looks like little fluffy earmuffs. I'm going to go ahead and do the headphones. So we just need a short line coming down on both sides. And I just want to remind you, I'm going pretty fast. So if you need to, stop the video, catch up, and then keep going, okay? Now at the end of these, I'm going to make a tall oval. This is the beginning of my headphones that I'm putting on him, okay? So it looks like two ovals. Then all you need to do is make a straight line across the top and the bottom, the top and the bottom, and then you're just going to match that curve. This will make it look more like a cylinder shape against his face. Okay, and then you just want to finish it out with some nice fat cheeks with a big curve. So there's his head with his headphones on the side. You could go in and put another line so it looks like the little metal piece or plastic piece is coming out of the top. Now for his nose, because it's the center of his face, we do want it to look a lot like a carrot. So you want a cone shape. So you have to give a curve to the bottom of it where it goes into the head. So that would be right in the middle of the head. And then you can decide if it's going to go up or if it's going to go down. And you can give the carrot a little bit of a lumpiness. I'm going to go ahead and do that so you can see it. Like that. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Notice that nose is a little bit down and this nose is a little bit up. All of them work. And then I'm just going to go ahead and give him two big round circle or oval eyes. Both would be great. Now if you wanted, you could make them black, just like pieces of coal, but I like to make them look a little more animated. So I put a circle inside the circle. And if you want to leave a little sparkle in his eye, you put another circle up at the top. And then later on with your pencil or your Sharpie, you can fill in the black part. If you accidentally fill in the sparkle, there's no real way to get that back out except with paint. Now, you could leave him like that. You could add eyebrows. You could add eyelashes. I'm going to go ahead and put my eyebrows a little bit to the side to give him just a little bit more of a different look. You can see this one's a little bit different. It even has eyelashes. Now you could do the traditional little coals for the mouth in a curve. What I did was just kind of like you're making little coals like this. This could be the little coals. I could make them bigger. So remember that when you're designing a snowman, it's really up to you what it looks like because, you know, he is a made-up creature. But you could leave the line out or add the line. I'm going to do a different face today. I'm going to give him kind of a silly face like this, and I'm actually going to give him a little curve on one side. So he's really kind of a silly boy. I like him. For the scarf, now the scarf is going to go around his neck. The main thing is don't make it really skinny because remember he's a big ball of snow under here, so you want a wide neck. So if you curve out on both sides like this, that will remind you to make the neck nice and wide and curve around his head. So that's where the scarf is. Now you could actually make the tails of the scarf go up or make them go down. I'm going to leave them off for now because it'll be easier for you to see the coat first. So we'll add the tails to it later. So first the capital letter A, you start right in the middle and we're going to put a little coat on him. So we're going to go angle down, and try not to make this too short because this is the bottom of his coat, not the bottom of his belly. Now, if you want to make him nice and chubby, you want these lines to be pretty wide, kind of like a wide snowball. So I'm going to curve out on each side so that he looks nice and wide. I'm going to make this side even wider, okay? And then at the bottom here, this will make it look like it's going around his tummy. You want to curve down here at the bottom too. Because he's round, lines going around him need to be round. Now, if you notice, this snowman's even chubbier. So a nice big round one's a good idea. And then a little bit in from the coat, you just make the nice big cereal bowl curve like that, which is part of a circle. And that's his belly sitting on the snow. And I like to put a little bit of a snowdrift in on each side so you actually look like his tummy is sitting on it. Now when you're drawing something like this and you have white next to white, you don't really have to color the white part, but if you want it to show up better, a little bit of shading underneath him in a blue, like I'm doing with this crayon, will look like the shading color of snow, because snow is always shaded in blue. That's why you hear the term blue ice. It also makes his belly show up. If you look at this painting here, I added some blue under his belly. There, so now we've got his coat. Now, what goes on his coat is up to you. You could add a pattern. On this one, I added little buttonholes and buttons. I'm going to do something a little different today. On this one, I'm going to do little pom-poms going down on one side, just because I think they look kind of cute. And so you can decide how you want to decorate yours. You could do little black lumps of coal. You could do buttons. That would be really cute. Okay, so arms. You could just have his arms go down. I'm going to go ahead and have one wave at you. So I want to come up always out near the neck. So you're coming out at the neck and then you're going to go out and then up. And try not to make his arms too skinny because remember this is a coat over a snowman. So you want a nice wide arm like this. Now where the cuff is, you always want to curve it a little bit if you want it to look more round. And I'm actually going to put a little cuff on that coat. Now the other arm, I'm going to come out of the same spot, but I'm going to make it, try to make it the same width. So I have to go really far down here to make it the same as that one. So here's my nice wide arm, another curve, and then I'm going to add a cuff like this. So those are my two coat arms. Now, if you notice on this one, I put the scarf going down. On this one, I made it look like it's blowing in the wind. So I'm going to go for the blowing in the wind and come out this side. So I'm just going to kind of give it a little curve. Look how cute that is. And I just followed the same curve. And then I'm going to have the other one coming from behind. and follow the same curve. And then I can add some cute little fringe on the end if I want. This would be a fun place to add a pattern. I'm going to go ahead and make this a polka dotted scarf. So sometimes I do half a circle on the edges so it looks like the polka dot is going around. And sometimes I just draw full circles. But I'm just kind of decorating it how I would like it. You could put stripes on it. You could make a plaid scarf. That would be cute. Don't forget to do the same pattern that you chose here. You could put hearts on it too. That would be cute. So remember, anything goes. Think of a scarf that you know of or that you have. This one here, see the stripes on it? And then you can decorate your coat later if you want to and add some more patterns to it. Let's go ahead and put some gloves on him. So the easiest way to do this is just think of two U shapes. One short U. Remember, this line shouldn't go all the way back because that's where the hand's going to start. And then one large U. And something to remember is the thumb is always closest to the body. So you don't put his hands on backwards. So on this one, closest to the body, the thumb would be here. So a small U, don't go all the way back, almost like a J. And then a large U to give him some cute little mittens. So there's his mittens and his coat. And from here, you could add anything you wanted. You could add snowflakes. I added some little musical notes on this one and wrote fa la la in the background. You could turn this into a Santa hat if you wanted it to look a little more Christmassy. That could be really cute on there. I'm sure you could think of some great ideas. I'm going to put a little bit of fur on the edge of this coat. Now, can you imagine if I painted this red and green? It would look very Christmassy. But if you wanted it to look more wintry or holiday-ish, you might do a blue coat, actually, or hot pink, whatever you like. Okay, so there we go, and I'll see you guys at the next lesson.